Hey gang, how's it going? I am journeying off to the cinemas on this beautiful winter day to go check out Manchester by Sea.
I'm not gonna bother you. I'm gonna just sit here until you calm down.
All right, I'm calming now. Would you please just go away?
No.
And based on all accounts, it's clearly the feel-good movie of 2016. And it was a film that I didn't get an opportunity to see before I put up my top 10 of 2016, primarily because these high marquee Oscar contenders, they usually don't see the light of day here in Saskatoon until mid to late January. So I'm finally getting an opportunity to see it today. I'm very interested also because it stars Casey Affleck. I hope I am not committing Affleckian heresy by saying I think he's the better actor of the two brothers.
Within the sound of silence.
He's coming off a long way from that annoying little jerk he played in Good Will Hunting.
I swallowed a bug.
And actually, if you just look at Affleck's resume, it kind of speaks for itself. I mean, if you look at his Oscar-nominated turn in The Assassination of Jesse James, as well as Gone Baby Gone.
If it turns out you're lying, I'm gonna spend every nickel of that money to fuck you up. I'm gonna bribe cops to go after you. I'm gonna pay guys to go after your weak fucking crew. And I'm gonna tell everyone I know that you're a CI and a rat. And I know a lot of people.
Which was ironically directed by his big brother Ben.
What's up now?
All right. Casey Affleck, I think, is a really underrated talent, even though he has been nominated before. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table with this film. So I'm going to go check this puppy out. I'm going to be back with a review. All right, I just got out of Manchester by Sea.
If you could take one guy to an island with you and you knew you'd be safe because he was the best man, he was gonna keep you happy, if it was between me and your father, who would you take?
My daddy.
I didn't think you're wrong about that.
Just give Affleck the Oscar already.
What's up now?
All right. No, not that Affleck. The other Affleck.
Within the sound of silence.
Yeah, that's it. And as far as this being the feel-good movie of 2016,
My heart was broken, and I know yours is broken too.
No, you don't understand. There's nothing there.
That's not true.
it's not very feel-goody. I was dreadfully wrong.
Come on, I think you're overreacting a little bit.
You must be so embarrassed!
This is the film from Kenneth Lonergan, and it is a really powerfully rendered family drama regarding various members of said family trying to deal with the grief of the passing of a loved one. So basically what you need to know is this: Casey Affleck plays this absolutely pathetic, sad sack of a human being who ekes out a meager subsistence and life working as a lowly janitor in Boston. And you know, the opening sections of this film just really go out of their way to display what a soul-crushingly depressing existence that this man has.
What happened to my brother?
And he finds out that his older brother, who's played really well by Chandler. Chandler, I think, is a very undervalued actor, has cardiac arrest, and he suddenly passes away at an alarmingly young age. And this, of course, leaves his son, who's played by Lucas Hedges, essentially an orphan. I mean, his mother is still technically alive, but she is an alcoholic, and she's been really out of this kid's life for quite some time, and she's clearly an unfit mother. So this, of course, leaves Affleck's character in a very dicey predicament because he has to journey home to spill the bad news to this poor kid. He also has to make all the necessary funeral arrangements, and then as an ultimate kick to the groin when he's down, he finds out through the will that he has been asked by his brother to become this kid's legal guardian.
I don't understand.
Which part are you having trouble with?
Well, I can't be his guardian.
Well, your brother provided for your nephew's upkeep. I think the idea was that you would relocate.
Relocate to where?
Well,
And he is in no way, shape, or form a suitable guardian for this kid.
I mean, I can't.
well, naturally, I assumed Joe had discussed all this with you.
No. He didn't.
And of course, like sprinkled throughout the narrative, you grow to learn more about the details of this guy's life and what sort of led him on this downtrodden path. One thing really needs to be said about Manchester by Sea is that it just feels so authentically grounded and rendered throughout. There's very few moments in this film where you don't believe the characters and you don't believe the dialogue exchanges, and it creates a startling sense of verisimilitude with its locales and with the way the characters interact with one another. You don't feel like you're watching actors act off of one another. You feel like you're sort of a voyeuristic eavesdropper watching the comings and goings of these real life people. So it almost has a sort of a faux documentary-like feel.
We don't know exactly what we're doing.
Well, you know, he can always stay with us if he wants to come up weekends.
Do you want to be his guardian?
Well,
He doesn't want to be my guardian, for Christ's sake. He's got
we're trying to lose some
kids. Have
kids
you
at this
seen
point.
Casey Affleck, I think he's lived under the shadow of his big brother Ben a lot throughout his career, but I think, again, as I've mentioned earlier, if you look at a lot of his past films, including this one, I think he beyond eclipses that shadow. This is an absolutely heart-wrenchingly powerful and quietly powerful performance by Affleck. He certainly is deserving of his Oscar nomination, and quite frankly, if it was up to me, I think the dude should take it.
We're not gonna be here that much longer.
I'm not moving to Boston, Uncle Lee.
No, I don't want to talk about that
You
right
said he
now.
left you money so you could move.
Yeah, that doesn't mean...
Anyway, what's in Boston? You're a janitor.
So what?
He is one of the best performers at harnessing silence and quiet moments. I think better than any other actor working today.
What the hell do you care where you live?
You can see his thought processes going on when he's trying to deal with the whirlwind of emotions that this character is going through. And Affleck can sell the emotional resonance of a scene with so much as just body language and with glances and stillness and without very little dialogue. And I think that's very tricky for an actor to harness. He's paired exquisitely well with young Lucas Hedges. He kind of reminds me sort of a very young Matt Damon, and he really has to hold his own opposite of Casey Affleck. And the one thing that I truly took away from Manchester by the Sea was that this is not a sugar-coated uncle/nephew relationship.
Do you actually have sex with these girls?
Well, we don't just play computer games.
With both of them?
Well, with Sandy's mom here, it's sort of, strictly just like basement business.
There are times when it gets really emotionally volatile between the two, and I also like how the screenplay doesn't go out of its way to create moments of like false sentimentality that are just too saccharine for their own good. Again, every moment in this film just feels authentically raw and believable and credible.
Don't want to
All my friends are here. I'm on the hockey team. I'm on the basketball team. I gotta maintain our boat now. I work on George's boat 2 days a week. I got 2 girlfriends, and I'm in a band.
You know, other performances in the film are really strong. Michelle Williams, I think, is she like the best actress to have never won an Oscar? She plays Casey Affleck's character's wife. They have a relationship that is steeped in tragedy, and they occupy a moment in the film where they try to communicate each other's years upon years of pain and regret. And it was a scene that I don't cry a lot in movies, but I mean, I was virtually reduced to tears. They are so powerful in this moment.
I guess you don't know this, but I really kept in touch with Joe. It's been kind of weird for me not seeing Patrick. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
If you could see him if you want.
Could we ever have lunch?
Also like too how the film doesn't go down a browbeaten, predictable path that you would expect in lesser melodramas. I think the film builds to a conclusion where you're legitimately left guessing whether or not Affleck's character is indeed going to become this kid's guardian. And I think the semi-ambiguous manner that the film ends, I think is truthful. It didn't feel or ring falsely.
Want me to call your friends? What do you want me to do? You want me to just sit here until you calm down?
All right, I'm calming it. Would you please just go away?
No.
I had a few little nitpicks. I think at times the film is overscored, if that makes any sense. I think there are moments that pack a dramatic punch as they are, but then I think Lonergan sort of accentuates them with some obtrusive music cues, and I think that doesn't quite work. I think there's also a problem with the flashback structure that the film harnesses, because the flashbacks are obviously necessary to provide you with details about Affleck's character and about all of his animosity about returning to his hometown and what that actually means. Like, they're crucial to the film's story, yet they're sort of awkwardly shoehorned into the film, and I think sometimes the film lacks narrative symmetry. I guess in a way, maybe those are sort of minor nitpicks. I mean, of all the films that I saw in 2016, I think this one is, again, probably one of the most authentically performed. It creates a strong sense of time and place with these characters and with their predicaments and with all of the pains that they're suffering through. Manchester by the Sea is really about a deeply fractured family unit trying as best as they can to come together, again, in the midst of horrendous personal tragedy. And the manner with which the film unfolds and the manner with which this story concludes is anything but predictable, and I like the fact that it really plays against audience expectations of this type of material.
Nobody can appreciate what you've been through. And if you really feel you can't take this on, that's your right.
I think it's really going to stay with me for an awfully long time, and I certainly hope that Betty's baby brother is going to walk home with an Oscar for this movie, because he certainly deserves it.
I don't understand.
It was that good.
Anyway, there you go. There's my review of Manchester by the Sea. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the film. Also, let me know in the comments below what you think some of your favorite Casey Affleck films are.
I swallowed a bug.
Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you could like this video, I'd really appreciate it. If you could subscribe to my channel, that would mean the absolute world to me. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you at the movies.